I think a lot of people are only honest when honesty makes them look emotionally evolved. That's why modern dating and modern day relationships feel so confusing. Because people will tell you truths that improve their image, but avoid the truths that would expose their behavior. Saying things like I'm scared of getting hurt, or I struggle with vulnerability, or I have trauma, or I self-sabotage sometimes. None of these things really cost people anything anymore. If anything, they make people sound deep, emotionally intelligent, self-aware. But real honesty sounds more like, I knew you were getting attached and I let it continue because I liked feeling important to someone. And I kept things vague on purpose because clarity would have forced responsibility. And I gave you enough reassurance to keep you emotionally invested. And I knew I couldn't love you properly, but I also didn't want anybody else to have access to you. That kind of honesty, almost nobody gives it because real honesty has consequences. Real honesty risks losing access, losing admiration, losing the ability to still be perceived as a good person. So instead, people give curated honesty, edited honesty, truth that sounds vulnerable without creating actual accountability. And honestly, I think that's why so many people feel emotionally exhausted now, because they're listening to words that sound emotionally mature while their nervous system is reacting to behavior that feels emotionally unsafe. That disconnect will drive people insane because someone can communicate beautifully and still leave you confused every single day. Some people have mastered the language of healing without actually healing. They know the phrases, the explanations, the emotionally intelligent wording, but their behavior still creates anxiety, inconsistency, confusion, instability. And the hardest part, people like this often genuinely believe they're being honest. Because in their mind, admitting small truths feel the same as being fully truthful. But it's not. There's a huge difference between transparency and selective transparency. And there's a huge difference between vulnerability and strategic vulnerability. And I think emotionally aware people eventually realize something very important. The people who are the most dangerous emotionally are not always the obvious liars. Sometimes they're the people who tell partial truths so convincingly that you mistake them for safe people. That's why actions matter more than words. And that's why actions matter more than language. Because somebody's words can sound incredibly healthy, while their patterns are quietly destroying your peace.